What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Commentary for you. Want to thank my sponsor, Steel Supplements. Link and discount code down in the description. You only have a couple days left. Also, to sign up with Webull, I'm a preferred influencer. You get a free stock just for signing up. Don't deposit $1. Don't deposit a dime. They will still give you one free share. Just got done watching this putrid Madden trailer. I want to thank Clint Oldenburg for taking time away from blocking people on Twitter to record this. I guess Sean Grady was busy playing God of War. I really don't know, but I'm pretty sure neither of these two guys were busy working on this game or listening to community feedback, because it's evident right away in this trailer. The first thing that you see, at least to me, in this trailer gameplay is the broken mechanics of this game. I don't know how many times we have to go to EA and tell them we're tired of this. Clint, if you motion captured this, can you please delete it from the game? 3 minutes and 16 seconds. Watt is being blocked, okay? Completely blocked. Basically shoulder to shoulder. And yet, in the same second, in their own trailer, you can see now he's throwing the lineman out of the way, and he goes back to sack the quarterback. It is less than a second that this happens in the trailer. EA Sports, we're tired of not being able to read a pocket. It doesn't matter what you add if you don't fix these things. Okay, also, just a little nitpick before I get into a serious problem. I am so tired of these confused players on the sidelines not knowing what game they're looking at on these stupid handheld tablets. Get this whole cutscene out of the game. You know why they're looking confused? Because it appears to be a Saints game and they're the Browns. That's why, Clint. That's why they're confused. Now, the most egregious one, and I've got timestamps on this as well. They talk about all this momentum and tackling. I want you to look at the safety or the corner on the right side of your screen. Okay? I want you to understand that physics-based tackling doesn't happen like this, because the one safety that's running down, okay, has to stop his feet to prepare to get trucked. But watch the guy on the right. What is this movement that he's in? He's actually like in a dip position now, but it gets even worse because he's not pursuing right again. Just like in Madden, this guy is running in a straight line. He is going to run all the way down the 35-yard line. Why is this happening, EA Sports? Because you know what happens when he runs in a straight line? When this guy actually gets stiff-armed and you cut your trailer off so we don't see it, guess what? It's a touchdown now because this safety and corner can't pursue down the field. So none of what you're adding in the game matters. Go watch this segment of the trailer. As soon as this stiff arm stops the animation, they cut. Because they know if you know this game well enough, even on simulation football mode, what's going to happen is this safety now can't cover ground because he doesn't have pursuit angles. They don't have them right in the game. This guy is literally running down the 35-yard line to prevent somebody scoring 70 yards away. How can this game be so dumb? How can we be talking about this? Right? I'm going to go through all the positive slides at the end of this. But in all sincerity, you guys can't sit down God of War and Twitter blocking long enough to put together a trailer that doesn't show two of the biggest flaws your game has? I don't understand it. I really don't. They go and show the new momentum meter, in a tied game up at the top of the screen, and this big momentum legend factor, it's going to change everything. Well, it didn't change. The field degradation. I mean, the game day atmosphere of the field hasn't changed, right? I mean, if we're going to nitpick, I don't understand why this is this big, great change. I just showed you yesterday. It's straight from NCAA Football 09. They go through and they make a fancy graphic to show you all the different teams. What are those things in the middle of this picture with the black and white stripes on? I don't know what they are. They haven't been in the game. Can somebody fill me in? I haven't seen these things in a Madden game in 3 years. This is the lack of attention to detail that goes into a trailer. Imagine what actually goes into the game. I guess that's why San Francisco and Washington have the same thing side by side, right? I mean, that looks awful, by the way. So let's get into all these improvements. Game day atmosphere is what we're going to start with. Updated broadcast package, super fans, new crowd animations, momentum-driven sideline reactions. You know how long we've been sold some of these things? I cut new celebrations off because I don't know how many times you can use new celebrations to sell a game, but I'm pretty sure EA is at max capacity. They've sold celebrations now for years. Super fans have been in the game. Crowd animations, no one cares. They're cutscenes, guys. Dynamic game day components. Game day atmosphere. What does that mean? What does game day atmosphere mean? Game day momentum, star-driven AI. I know that you're selling it and you're going over the overview, but to put it as one of the bulletin points in the slides is crazy. And the fact this is only next gen, when I just showed you it came from a PS3, is just preposterous. They're leaning on this next gen stats thing so hard. Clint talks about 80% of the games that are played are offline. If that's the case, gameplay needs to be your number one focus. I don't even believe that stat. Quarterback decision-making under pressure, passing aggressiveness, success on the run, like that's all the same thing. Ball carrier tendencies around breaking and evading tackles, quarterback time to throw, quarterback scramble frequency. How many of these things can just get bundled and then they had in more? Not and more, just more. There's more in there. Don't worry about it. We're going to do it. The gameplay looks awful. You're using these next-gen stats to basically cultivate statistics on how players act in the NFL, but you don't realize that how players act in the NFL has nothing to do with your game. And this is the next-gen player movement updates. Keep in mind, I just showed you horrendous blocking and inexcusable pursuit angles. But now there's a max effort animation for when players are running at top speed. Guess it doesn't happen during pursuit. More responsive controls for quarterbacks. Signature releases and cuts for receivers and route running. More control when turning up the field after a catch. Contextual AI. Touch a player down. Sideline tackles. An easy hurdle. Maybe we're bringing back the Jurtle from last year, remember? I mean, they're still trying to sell us at the core of this. They're still trying to sell you on next gen celebrations, crowds, and then also the quarterback and receiver. They're going to know where the sidelines are this year. Contextual intelligence. If you don't have players that can pursue and block properly, don't talk to me about contextual intelligence anywhere else. If you don't have a safety or corner that recognizes he has to run up the field, I genuinely don't care about sideline tackles because you don't have the basics there. You don't have the foundation laid down. And when you can't put together a 5-minute trailer that somehow doesn't show all this, I know that it's so prominent in your game that two things. Number one, you just can't hide it. Or number two, you just don't care and you're going to show it to us. Or I guess the third would be, you think that we're so dumb that we don't pick out the flaws in your game from a trailer. Those are the only options that EA has with this. Love to know your guys' thoughts on this. Appreciate you checking it out. You know, with a company like this, I will be back in a week with more coming.